Welcome back, curious minds. Today we're diving into something that affects every single one of us, from students facing deadlines to professionals juggling projects. What if I told you that one of the biggest saboteurs of your productivity might not be laziness, but a complex interplay of your brain's reward system and your emotional state? We all do it, that nagging feeling that you should be doing something, but your brain screams, later. It feels like a personal failing, but the science behind procrastination is actually fascinating, and understanding it is the first step to finally overcoming it. Get ready to unlock the secrets of your own brain and learn practical, science-backed strategies to break free from the procrastination cycle, starting today. So, where does this universal struggle come from? The roots of procrastination are surprisingly deep, stretching back to ancient Greece. Philosophers like Aristotle wrote about akrasia, which translates roughly to weakness of will or acting against one's better judgment. Even then, people recognized that we often know what's best for us, but struggle to actually do it. Fast forward to modern psychology, and we see procrastination not just as a character flaw, but as a coping mechanism. Early research in the 20th century began to explore the behavioral aspects, but it was the rise of neuroscience that truly began to unravel the biological underpinnings. We used to think it was simply a matter of poor time management or a lack of discipline. But now, we understand it's deeply tied to how our brains process rewards, deal with stress, and make decisions, making it a fundamental aspect of the human experience that we're still actively trying to understand and conquer. At its core, procrastination is often an emotional regulation problem, not a time management one. Think of your brain as having two main systems at play: the limbic system, which is all about immediate gratification and avoiding pain, and the prefrontal cortex, which is your rational, long-term planning center. When faced with a task that feels difficult, unpleasant, or overwhelming, your limbic system shouts, "Danger!" Avoid this. It offers you a quick dopamine hit, that feel-good chemical, by engaging in something more enjoyable, like scrolling through social media, watching a funny video, or even doing laundry. This immediate reward hijacks your attention, making the unpleasant task seem even more daunting by comparison. Your prefrontal cortex, which understands the long-term consequences of not doing the task, gets overruled. It's like having a toddler, your limbic system, screaming for a cookie right now, and a wise adult, your prefrontal cortex, trying to explain that eating vegetables is better for your health in the long run. The toddler, in this scenario, often wins. Procrastination, therefore, becomes a way to temporarily relieve negative emotions associated with a task, even though it creates much larger negative emotions later on. It's a short-term escape that leads to long-term distress. Here are some truly surprising facts about why we procrastinate. First, procrastination isn't necessarily laziness, it's often linked to perfectionism. Those who aim for flawless execution can find the pressure so immense that they freeze and delay starting altogether, fearing they can't meet their own impossibly high standards. Second, our brains are wired to prefer immediate rewards. Studies using fMRI show that the part of the brain associated with pleasure lights up more intensely for immediate gains, even if they are smaller, compared to larger future rewards. This is known as temporal discounting. We devalue things that are far off. Third, procrastination can actually be a sign of a healthy relationship with our future selves. Researchers have found that people who feel a stronger connection to their future selves are less likely to procrastinate. This means feeling empathy for your future self who will have to deal with the consequences. Fourth, procrastination is linked to a higher chance of experiencing negative physical health outcomes. A meta-analysis found that procrastinators are more likely to report higher levels of stress, anxiety, and even physical symptoms like colds and headaches. Fifth, the feeling of regret after procrastinating is a powerful deterrent. However, the immediate relief you get from putting off a task often outweighs the anticipated guilt, at least in the moment. Finally, even highly creative people aren't immune. In fact, some studies suggest that creativity and procrastination can be positively correlated, possibly because the creative process itself is often unstructured and prone to tangents. This isn't just an academic curiosity, the impact of procrastination is felt in our daily lives in countless ways. Think about students delaying studying for exams, leading to all-nighters fueled by caffeine and anxiety, or professionals putting off important reports, causing missed opportunities or rushed, subpar work. On a personal level, it can manifest as delaying doctor's appointments, leading to untreated health issues, or postponing difficult conversations, damaging relationships. It's the reason you might put off going to the gym until Monday, which then becomes the Monday after that, and so on. Even something as simple as filing taxes can become a source of significant stress due to procrastination. The cumulative effect of these delayed actions can lead to chronic stress, guilt, and a feeling of being perpetually behind, impacting our mental well-being, our career progression, and even our physical health. It's a silent thief of our potential, robbing us of opportunities and peace of mind. So, what's the one most important takeaway? Procrastination is less about a lack of willpower and more about how our brains manage emotions and seek immediate rewards, but understanding this means we can implement effective strategies. We've explored the psychology, the surprising facts, and the real-world consequences. Now, armed with this knowledge, you can start to identify your procrastination triggers and actively choose actions that align with your long-term goals. Try breaking down tasks, setting realistic deadlines, and rewarding yourself for progress, not just completion. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the science of procrastination. I encourage you to reflect on your own habits and see where these insights might offer a new perspective. Until next time, stay curious and keep asking why.